been a month since update 8, so that means it's been out long enough for me to form an educated opinion on where the game is heading. I'd like to start with sets. So basically every few XPs we get to unlock a random prize which comes down to either a new mini or key resources, and at certain thresholds like level 85 you have a new sets to unlock to add more prizes to the prize pool. Now the randomness in this system can be brutal, since you can see some people at level 100 plus while not even owning the villager, which is very unfortunate. I don't have an issue with a little bit of randomness in my progression system, since it gives you a unique journey compared to your friends and clanmates. However, what I would suggest is some sort of a system that prevents extremely unfortunate events like getting a legendary mini before a very basic one. All I ask is to not move me to the next tier of rewards unless I unlock every single mini from above. So for example, if I'm at set 3, I can't get any rewards from set 4 unless I get every mini from set 3. SP minis not included. This means instead of drawing a reward randomly from all possible rewards, the game will draw rewards only from your current set, and it will keep doing that until you get all the minis from that set. Once you get all the minis, the remaining keys on your set would then be moved down to the next set, which ensures the numbers don't get too messed up. Another issue I have with sets is power creeping involved with it. It is a fact that minis from lower sets are way weaker compared to minis from higher sets. This creates a problem where most used decks on high ladder is just the same 15 minis in different combinations. I'll have to say SP minis and heroes seem to be balanced in a way which makes them always viable regardless of what set they are from. And before someone says, well actually top meta queen deck has archer in it, I'll tell you why archer is there. Classes. Yes, archer is literally just thrown there as a 0-star unit just to get the double class buff for 2 elixir, which is insanely worth it. This also means something like the dagger thrower will literally never ever be used, because why would I use him when archer exists? Another power creep thing is about clash speed, as it was clearly communicated that higher set equals faster clash in the balance changes patch note. It is a good method of sorting clash abilities in a way that makes them more memorable, but why the heck does a Dark Prince have a faster charge than Prince? No, seriously, like what is the logic behind this? Obviously the reason isn't because Dark Prince is more expensive, right? Sets being this flawed means I'll consider them a bad part of this update. Speaking of which, let's talk about SP minis. The current system of SP minis makes it so you need to grind about 2 months to unlock one. This isn't entirely bad by itself, since working 2 months for a max troop is pretty generous compared to other games. My issue lies in how stupidly strong they are, because they are strong to the point that it makes the game feels pay to win. Like, I'm sure the devs do recognize this, but I have to point out how OP Chompy is. Self-heal with insanely fast and buildable attack speed, and revive on top of that, as if it wasn't really already hard enough to take him out. And Dark Prince, that stupid garbage bucket head, is the main reason I decided to literally just not play actively on ladder. He cancels almost every single clash ability. He stuns 6 whole tiles, which means to block him you need to place something 2 tiles in front of the mini you want to protect. The whole board is only 4 tiles long. And why does his cleave attack stuns? Like, excuse me, what? Why does he need that? And Sailor is broken too. I haven't faced her a single time since I'm purposely staying at lower trophies. Like, I personally do understand the idea behind making them hard to get to give the players an incentive to play for a long time, but can we please not make them way stronger than every normal mini? For the battle machine, it was said it should take a little over a year to be guaranteed from the pity as a free-to-play. I think personally that's somewhat fine for now, since with this system it will only take you 1.5 years to max your collection. My main worry is the frequency of releases. Like, if we get a new SP hero every 9 months, for example, then that's a massive problem. If you want people to spend, let's say, 14 months for a battle machine and you add a new SP hero every 9 months, then there is clearly a big issue here. Although all the new minis are not SP, I wanted to bring that up regardless, because I would rather complain about it early and make sure it never happens than wait for it to happen and ask for them to revert it or stop doing it. SP minis, especially balance wise, has got to be a bad part of this update. Speaking of which, let's talk about Toy Machine. Whether you like randomness or not, that's up to you, but it's no lie that RNG is present in almost every mobile game system, and actually even some PC games too. My issue with the current situation is that the community is split into two sides. Most of the community is acting like the devs are just the devil screwing us over intentionally, and a small amount of people think that everything is fine and people are spoiled. I believe the truth is in the middle, and this will make more sense over time once you continue watching the whole video. Our system of gacha is not the best, but certainly is not the worst, and I do have criticism on it. First and foremost, I absolutely dislike how the pity is programmed. My main issue with it is that if the banner is gone, the pity that you build up goes away with it. This mainly marks an issue when it comes to free-to-play players and epic keys. If one of them got his battle machine on his first key, then he will be forced to either stack his epic keys indefinitely or spend them on skins like Warthog, Hog Rider. And don't get me wrong, spending on skins isn't bad, but if I spend 5 epic keys I got this month on Hog Rider and I missed it, then I basically burnt those 5 keys on absolutely nothing. And if I decided to save up until I get 140 keys, then I will have to save up for 1.5 years just to pull one skin, and that's a very boring experience. If the pity was linked to the account like I suggested before, then I can safely spend 5 keys on Warthog, and if I got it, then hooray for me. But if I didn't, technically I did not lose anything, since I can start my Skeleton King skin pulls with 5 out of 140 epic keys. This allows a free-to-play player to slowly build up their pity in this 1.5 year period while getting resources on the way and keeping the excitement of randomly getting lucky as a part of the equation. An issue with my design that I overlooked is that some machines have different pities, like Queentron having 140 golden key instead of 80 golden key pity. And to be fair, this was a good middle ground, since 80 gold keys would have felt cheap for it, but 140 epic keys is way too expensive for Queentron. Also, another nitpick I have is how the battle machine banner has the same 4 skins for all players. I have every one of those skins, so I feel like I'm missing out on more fun and excitement compared to those who don't have them. I feel like the game should put skins that the player doesn't own in that section, so everyone has a similar experience. I also wish SP Mini Gachas also had other skin prizes as well, like just give me some side drop to look forward to while pulling for my decoy. Toy Machine, I'll go with bad part of this update, since it's not really terrible enough to get an ugly rating. Moving on to the gameplay, the major introduction to the gameplay was classes, and boy do I love these. Now I'll be honest, some of them are trash, but we'll get to those soon. Classes kinda introduced an extra layer of decision in the game while playing. Literally now, in game, you have the option to upgrade your mini, upgrade your hero, or place a new mini for class buffs. And also, they introduced a layer of skill outside the game while creating a deck, since they really do influence your decision on which minis to pair together. Balance wise, we have some issues like Undead being a must-have in every deck, but those are easy to fix. Design-wise, however, Goblin class is a massive issue with their dodge stuff. Like, look at this poor guy on Reddit and tell me this ain't the biggest bullshit you have ever seen in your life. This same issue applies to Rogue class, since it's also fully RNG. The other gameplay change was hero movement, and this one is great too. I think it adds an extra layer of depth, and it rewards outplaying and outskilling your opponent. Especially with the mechanics of switching it with another mini, it's just absolutely amazing. Gameplay is a good part of this update. Now let's jump to events. The new event rework is very interesting in my opinion. They added more rewards on the event track itself, which is great since the old ones just sucked. They also added an event challenge as a way to get other rewards, including an epic key and an avatar. The avatar was at 1600 medals, so barely 200 to 300 people have gotten it, which is fine in my opinion. The issue, if you win every single game, you need to win 54 games, which is a lot of games. The event was actually more competitive than ladder itself, and skill-wise harder to play on, which I find very funny. It was much harder to be consistent, mainly because everyone was sweating and using the exact same deck. Also, the movement and position swapping on 3 heroes added some unique style of skill and gameplay that was not available in duels. Besides that, another problem is, since minis are balanced based on duels, that made events too unbalanced that literally everyone ended up running the same deck. This made the whole game come down to whoever gets the best heroes ends up winning the game. Besides those small issues, I do really love the idea of mini competitive ladder with a small different game mode as a frequent event. Events are a good part of this update. Now let's hop on collection. Dioramas are such a cool feature, especially for me being someone that loves collecting stuff. Although I do feel like maxing a diorama doesn't give the player anything, which is disappointing to say the least. All you get is just a peace sign sticker that replaces the upgrade button. Personally, I would love if the diorama awarded you with a theme for your in-game shop like this one, which probably looks terrible, but it gets the idea across. For the skins tab, I think you guys have nailed it. Having groups of skins giving boards for completing them is amazing. My main issue here is this collection reward is just boring. It's 10 keys you spend and forget about. Wish we had something more permanent for it. I also love the total collection reward down there. I'm literally foaming at the mouth for this stadium board, which gives me motivation to collect skins. Collection, dioramas and skins are a good part of this update. Let's hop on the shop. This is where my issue lies. As a free-to-play, the economy we have has a very fair progression compared to other mobile games. In a year and a half, you could have everything maxed out, which is amazing and very quick. Now, if you want to drop some money on the game, I would say the mini pass is a good deal. Anything else is extremely overpriced. This update, in my opinion, just screws over spenders horrendously. For example, those Christmas deals are like 25 bucks for 10 golden keys and 50 silver keys. This collector boost offer is literally 100 bucks for 1 SP mini, maybe 2 if you got lucky, and a moderate chance at unlocking the battle machine. There are fragments and gold that can get you 7 to 10 collector levels depending on where you are in game, but if you look at your odds for new minis, it just isn't that great. Another issue is epic skins. Those cost 300 bucks to get from the guaranteed rewards. 300 bucks for a skin in a mobile game. I went to Steam and apparently I can buy every single Sonic game for half that price. I can buy a Nintendo Switch for that same amount of money. Like, it's literally not worth it, in my opinion, to spend on the game at all. And just to be fair with the devs here, this issue has been going on most mobile games, not just Clash Mini. I don't know if it's inflation, but it feels like your money just doesn't give you much anymore. Like, can you believe this is 30 bucks? The shop is an ugly part of this update. Next, we have rapid fire small nitpicks. For remodels, just to make it clear, I don't have any personal beef with the remodels. They didn't kill my entire family or anything, but I don't like a bunch of them. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this topic, but some like P.E.K.K.A just feel like a downgrade. For emotes, I mentioned before and I'll mention again, I miss spamming emotes. I want more ways to express myself mid-game, and I believe animated emotes are perfect for that. For quests, I have a few complaints. First, I don't like regular quests telling me to finish other regular quests. It feels counterintuitive and weird. Second, can we delete win 3-0 please and thank you? With the way the losing player gets more elixir, it makes it almost near impossible to get a 3-0 victory without a cheese deck. Another issue is the mini pass endless track increasing in price. Some people have the quest telling them to finish 3 tiers while having their box at 400 tokens. Like, god damn, that is near impossible to complete. For season end rewards, I kinda don't like these because they feel lackluster. Replace them with some keys or something. I just miss when I used to get excited for new seasons in games. For the daily free item in the shop, you can collect it every 8 hours. That means you can claim it 3 times per day if you are perfect with your timings, but if you miss a few minutes, you get it only twice in the same day. I literally have 3 alarms for the free items and it feels hard to keep up with. Clash Royale had the request be 8 hours but dropped it to 7 hours to give an hour of room in case you were busy, so I suggest we do the same thing. For making a deck, let's say I had a specialist undead deck and wanted to swap to Ranger's Rogue. While I'm swapping the first 3 minis, the other 2 minis will show their classes on the left. The issue with this is when the classes of those 2 minis do show up, they kind of mess up your train of thoughts. I honestly just would like if we had a clear deck option so we can build classes in a clean, organized ways. That's all. Drop your thoughts in the comments so I can read them, my dudes.